All right. We should be live. We should be live. We should be live. I believe we're live. Hopefully, there might have been a little echo there at the beginning because I forgot to mute the stream, but we should be live. So I'll just give everybody a couple of minutes to get in here, and then I will begin. Yeah. Let's see what we can get away with on YouTube today. That's all I gotta say. But I'll give you guys a few minutes and then I'll get started. All right, if you're here, can you please hit the like button? And if you're not sub, can you please sub? Yeah, there are a lot of things I want to talk about today. I'm gonna try to stay within YouTube guidelines, but again, that is very difficult to do because they don't like the truth, and that's all I like to speak is the truth. So if there are things that I say that are true and YouTube hears it and they don't like it, even if it's not really wrong, but it's some kind of violation of their opaque guidelines where it's so difficult to know what's allowable and what's not, they'll censor or remove the video, or they'll give me a strike or whatever. But it is what it is. I've already dealt with this for years. Like I said, I had one big channel, well, bigger than this one, that they hit me on. They hit me on this channel. Then I've had other channels that were smaller, but I was trying to grow them. I never really talk about those channels, but I've had other channels and they were taken down. I talked about it on Patreon, but I had a channel that was they didn't like what I said on YouTube, so they deleted my Google email, which, if you guys know, if you have your email tied to all your business and your banks and everything else, and it suddenly gets deleted, it's a pain in the ass to get all that shit back. But YouTube did that to me, and they didn't give a fuck. It took me a month to recover all my accounts and stuff, and it was a real hellish experience, but YouTube didn't give a fuck. That's why I am promoting Patreon and Rumble and all these other platforms, because I'll still, and I just want to explain this. I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm not stopping content on YouTube. It's just that I can't be as real as I want to be on YouTube. I can't say everything I want to say. So unfortunately, I have to go to other platforms and stream over there, make videos over there, whatever, right? So with that being said, I will be promoting my Patreon, which is the platform that's probably going to get the best content, if I had to be honest with you. And I'm going to show that on the screen. I have a bunch of things I'm going to show. So, this is my Patreon. And if you want to join, you can join. You can go over there. I'll link it in the chat. You don't have to, obviously. It's just an extra platform. I'm still going to make content on YouTube. But if you want to go over there and support me, that would be fantastic. I'll link it in the chat real quick. That's the Patreon. It's also in the description of every video. So if you look down here, all my links are down here. So if you want to watch me on another platform, which I'm going to, like I said, be promoting more and making more content on, then here are all the links to that. There's the Telegram, BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, Instagram. Instagram's more of a private thing, but whatever. If you guys want to talk to me privately over there. Twitter, if you want to follow me there. I plan on growing that. I have a gaming channel, which I haven't done much with because that's going to be a spin-off of my Twitch channel, but I haven't really done much there. So once I start doing stuff on Twitch, then I'm going to make my gaming channel bigger. And my gaming channel, just so you guys understand, it's not just going to be gaming. So don't think I'm going to have a gaming channel and I'm just going to play games and not talk. That's not what it's going to be. I'm going to play games so I can draw people from the gaming community to watch me, right? But I'm still going to talk about similar things that I talk about on YouTube. So while I'm playing games, I'm going to be talking about pretty much the same stuff. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be a 2-for-1 kind of thing. And I'll also be showing my face on Twitch. So when you hear me say I'm going to be streaming on Twitch, you're going to see me. Because Twitch that's what people like. They want to see people there. So it is what it is. Subscribe Star is similar to Patreon. I haven't really done much with Subscribe Star because I haven't figured it out yet. I'm having an issue with it, but for now, I'm not promoting that. And Streamlabs is an easier way to donate. If you just want to do a one-time donation, you can donate through Streamlabs. So those are the links. I'm just letting you guys see that. Again, there's the Patreon. For the Patreon, if you just want to, how do I say? You can do like a one-time pledge. And I'm still trying to figure this out. I had it figured out before the stream, and then when I went live and I tried to figure it out again, I couldn't. But I know that the people that have signed up already, there are 4 people that signed up, you get to pick how much you want to donate the first time around, right? So if you just want to do a $1 donation the first time and get all the content for $1, you'll have a whole month of $1. You can watch as much as I have on there. I'm not putting anything, how do I say this? I'm not doing anything in the tiers yet. Meaning there are tiers where I'll be making specific content for higher tiers. So the higher up the tier, the more content you're going to get. But for now, anybody can join for even $1. I'm not sure what's the lowest amount you can donate. I believe it's $1. I'm not sure. But I had it figured out again. Like I said, I had it figured out before the stream started. I don't know what happened where I can't find the link now. But if you go here and join, there should be an option to do a custom pledge. And when you do that, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you can afford, right? And up to however much you can donate. That's up to you. I'm not going to say any specific amounts. You decide how much you feel like you want to do your first time around. And then after that, if you want to remain subbed, you can sub for the $6 a month. And I'm going to probably leave that forever. I can't really think of a reason why I would change that price. So I'm just going to leave it like that. But again, the reason why this is a necessity at this point is because I don't think I'm going to get monetized on YouTube. And I'm not going to be able to do anything for the community without funds, right? I want to do stuff for you guys. So this is just a way that you can support me to support you back, right? And like I said, Kim does stuff like that. David Icke, everybody does it. But for me, I have bigger plans and bigger goals for what I'm trying to do other than just talking on YouTube, right? I want to do a lot of things. I want to do documentaries and interviews and go places and meet you guys and yada, yada, yada. Just like what everybody else does, I want to do the same thing, right? But I can't do it if I'm being suppressed on YouTube. So again, I would greatly appreciate if you support me there. And I'm not going to spend too much more time on that because there are some more important things I need to discuss. So it is what it is. So if you hear me promoting my Patreon, you're going to get exclusive content there. Again, you can do for $1 for the first time, and then after that it'll be $6 or whatever. So I would appreciate anybody that would do that. Now let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to put the chat here for now, and then I'm going to talk about some things, and then I will start to show you guys what I want to show you. So okay, and it's going to do this whole Inception thing, but at least you guys can see the chat. So now let's talk about it. So I want to say hi to Highlander. Hi Trace, thank you for joining. Trace said that's great, RT. $1 a month is only 3 cents a day. Well, it's $1 for the first month. So again, it's up to people if they want to keep watching that content or not. That's why, because I think you gave me the idea of doing a promotion, and that's what the promotion is, right? Like, you just do your whatever you can do for the first month. If you want to do $1 or more, that's up to you. Then after that, it'll be $6 if you guys stay subbed or whatever. And that's up to you guys what you can afford and what you want to do, right? But I do plan on doing more content there. So now, what do I want to talk about? And why is this going to be a controversial live? Well, because there seems to be a problem with people identifying what a woman is and understanding what a woman is. And the worst part about what I just said is that it seems to be mostly women, white women, if I had to be very specific, that don't know what a woman is. Why? Why do women not know what a woman is? Why? Can somebody please explain that to me? And this is the evil that has taken place in this world. And let me explain something to you guys. It might seem like a little harmless, oh, who cares? Let everybody do what they want. Everybody can be how they want. It's not a big deal. No, it is a big fucking deal. And that's why I'm talking about it. Because if we can't figure out what the fuck a gender and a sex is, how the fuck are we going to exist as a society? Mind you, we have known this for millions of years since humans have been in existence, right? If you want to just go by mainstream science, right? Humans have been around for millions of years. They've always known what a man and a woman is. Even fucking cavemen knew this shit, right? This isn't new. Yet, in the last 10, 15 fucking years, women forgot what women are. And if a man doesn't know what a woman is, to me, he's not a man. That's the way I see it. That's why I'm not even thinking about men right now. Because if you're a pussy-ass man that doesn't know what a woman is, then you're not even a fucking man. I don't even want to think about a man that doesn't know what a woman is. But a woman that doesn't know, that's a real fucking problem. That's something that needs to be talked about. Okay? So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Because maybe the older women know, right? The more traditional women. But unfortunately, you guys are being faded out of existence. Some people, and I'm being as real as I can be, and I'm sorry if it hurts people's feelings or whatever. People get older, people die, right? This isn't about women in terms of all women. This is about the future generation and what they're trying to create, right? So the older women may know, or even middle-aged women may know. But when you start getting into the younger generations or the new generation, which is what they're focusing on, what they're trying to brainwash MK Ultra, you know, the new race of humans that they want to create, right? That's where there's a huge problem. And let me explain something to you older people, if you're older in the chat and you're watching. You may think it doesn't matter because you know the truth. So you're like, well, who cares if these young kids are that way? Let them be that way. They're the ones that are going to be taking care of your ass when you're in the fucking home or wherever the fuck you're at. And you may not agree with their way of being, but you're going to have to sit there and watch their asses be however fucked up they are because you didn't want to fucking correct them or tell them the right way to be. So, is that what you want? Is that the future you want? Is that what you want to deal with? Is that what you want to look at for the rest of your fucking life? In your dying days, you want to see society destroyed and crumbled and ruined around you and desecrated because you didn't have the guts or the intestinal fortitude to say, this is wrong, this needs to stop. Because it's your kids. That's who's doing this shit. So if you have kids and you see them supporting these woke ideologies and this everybody can be a woman shit, then you need to say something and do something. Because you're just as much of a problem as the motherfuckers that believe in this shit. Because you're not doing anything about it. So we're going to have a fucked up society that you're going to have to deal with in your dying days because you didn't want to stop it when you had a chance to stop it. You didn't raise your kids right. You didn't teach them shit. And now they're all fucked up. And then everyone else has to deal with your kids' problems and their own kids' problems because they didn't tell anybody anything. Do you understand where I'm going with this shit? So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to comment on it. And I'm probably going to stop this fucking video like 1,000 fucking times. Because the shit that I'm seeing makes me fucking sick. And there's no nice way to say this shit. No nice way. It really boils my blood when I see this shit. Because this is a fucking cancer. It's a disease of the mind and the soul that is destroying humanity from the inside out. And everybody seems to be okay with this shit. Except for me, apparently. I seem to be the only motherfucker on earth that is not okay with this shit. So if there's somebody else that isn't, can you please tell me that you exist? Because I don't see you. All I see is everybody saying, it's okay, be how you want, do what you want, I'm accepting, I'm tolerant. Everybody's doing this shit. And then when I show the fucking video with Matt Walsh, nobody wants to watch that video. Nobody wants to support Matt Walsh. He's a bigot. He's transphobic. He's this, that, and the other. Right? I get downvoted on that fucking video, which I thought was a good video because it speaks the truth to the cancer and the evil that's taking place, that's being promoted by the demons from the top down. They're pushing their evil agenda down from the top down through the president and everybody else that supports it. Meanwhile, people that speak the truth, like me and Matt Walsh, we are the bad guys, right? We're too masculine, toxic masculinity, right? Fuck that shit. I'm just going to speak the goddamn truth. And you guys can like it or not. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to tell you what it is. So I'm going to show you this shit. And then I'm going to talk about it. Without further ado, watch these fucking women. Watch these garbage women. This guy, his name is Greg. And he makes videos. I'm going to let him show this. His name is, well, his channel is the Black Conservative Perspective. So he's conservative, whatever. I'm not political. But he's a really good dude. He speaks a lot of truth. And I like a lot of his videos. So I'm going to show you what he says. And what these dumb bitches say, and then I'm going to comment on it.
Alright guys, so I stumbled across this clip from the... Alright guys, so I stumbled across... Alright guys, so I stumbled across this clip from the Whatever podcast. And it truly is an unbelievable clip in the sense that you have women, or presumably women, I don't know because nobody knows what a woman is, right? And that's kind of the whole point of the video. But you have women who are so afraid of being called transphobic, okay, or accused of some type of transphobia, that they don't even want to answer the question of what is a woman, right? Like they believe that engaging in that conversation somehow is inherently disrespectful to the transgender community. And it's really sad, man, when you have women, grown women who know the answer to this question, refusing to answer the question because they don't want to get canceled, right? They don't want the mob to come after them. And you can already tell that a lot of these girls just simply don't even want to engage because it's like, well, again, I don't want to get backlash from the mob. It's really sad. I mean, you can't really help women like this if they can't even engage in basic conversation. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and play the clip.
So what, I guess my question is, you said that they're both women, right? So what is a woman?
A woman is anyone who wants to identify as one.
A cat is a cat because they are a cat. That's not like...
I feel like
this isn't a gotcha. It's just a genuine question. What
like
is a woman?
Hold
on. Hold on. Go ahead.
I didn't have anything to say yet.
But what is a woman?
A person.
A woman is a person. Again, it's just like, are you stupid? Right? You know, I mean, like legitimately, I have the question. Are you stupid or are you just afraid of the mob? Okay, I think that you're afraid of the mob. I hope you're afraid of the mob. Okay, because I hope you're not this dumb where you can't define what a woman is, and presumably you're a woman. Okay, he should have asked, do you know that you're a woman? Like, are you a woman? I would love to see her answer to that. Okay, because if she says that she's a woman, then clearly you know what a woman is, right? You know what a woman is.
I just want you guys to keep in mind that it's International Women's Day month, whatever. All these Black History Month, LGBTQ, Women's Month, all this bullshit that you keep fucking promoting, right? So this month is supposed to be Women's Month, right? Yet they're promoting fucking men, transsexual men. Keep that in mind.
No, but what is the definition of what is a woman?
I don't know. I'm confused now.
See, I don't know. I'm confused now. Again, are you stupid or are you dumb, right? Or are you afraid of the mob? It could be a little bit of all of it in this situation.
I understand what your argument is. If I come out and I say a woman is someone who was born biologically a woman, I understand that that's where you're coming from. And I agree everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But I personally, as an individual, respect trans people. I respect trans women. So I'm not going to come on here and invalidate them by saying that. I understand completely where you're coming from. But just from my personal preference, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Answering.
Yeah, so, again, I don't understand. How is it disrespectful or how are you invalidating trans women by just saying what the definition of a woman is, right? While just saying, look, a woman is a biological female, right, with XY chromosomes. That's what a woman is. Saying that is not disrespectful to trans people, right? The truth and facts are not disrespectful. If truth and facts are disrespectful, then you need to take it up with the truth and the facts, right? The person that has an issue is the people that are offended, not the truth and the facts themselves. But again, we live in a society where you can't engage with truth, okay? You can't use facts because facts are bigoted, right? And they're transphobic and they're disrespectful to the trans community. Again, do these people hear themselves talk, bro? Do they not hear themselves talk?
The question. Okay. No, hey, that's okay. What about you?
I'm just not really interested in having this conversation about trans people anymore because you seem very clearly committed to misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Well,
misunderstanding. He's come.
All right, so notice this. The kind of mindfuckery that's going on here blows me away. So, first of all, they don't know how to define a woman. So if you don't know what a woman is and you can't define what a woman is, how can you know what a trans woman is? There's no such thing as a trans woman if you don't know what the fuck a woman is. How do you know that somebody transitioned, right, from a fucking man to a woman if you don't know what a woman is, right? You can't define what it is. Therefore, how do you know that this even took place? Not to mention, they're all women, right? Right? And this is the new generation here. These are the young 20-year-olds, whatever. They're going to be the future, right? This is what your world is looking like, right? Because you guys are so tolerant and accepting and nice and lets everybody hold hands and kumbaya, everybody be however fucked up way you want to be. Well, this is what you're getting, right? And then on top of that, this guy's a biological man. And they're more concerned about protecting a freak of nature, which is a transsexual woman, right? And she doesn't want to talk to him or answer his question because she's offended by what he said. But she's more concerned about, I'm not going to say that because I want to protect a man that wants to be a woman, and I don't need to answer your question. So she's getting mad at this guy for being a real dude and acting like a real man and saying, hey, what's the issue here? Why can't you just talk about this? Why can't you guys just answer this question? And she's like, I see what kind of game you're playing. What kind of game is he playing? He's just being a normal guy. He's just telling the truth, speaking the truth. He's asking you a real question. Why the fuck can't you answer it? Why are you worried about offending a man that's not a woman, that wants to be a woman, but you can't talk to a real man? So this is the shit I'm talking about. This is the shit I'm talking about. Because women, they rather be disrespectful and get upset with a real man, but they're okay with transsexual men. And I call them transsexual men because they're not women. But men that want to be women, right? So they're okay with those motherfuckers taking over their spaces and walking in their bathrooms with male genitalia and all this and that and the other, right? That's acceptable. But if a real man tells you, hey, don't you see there's a problem here? Oh, I don't want to talk to you. You're a misogynist. You're toxic masculinity and all this other shit, right? You're toxic male, right? That's the world that we're living in and it's getting worse. It's not getting better. This isn't improving. This isn't stopping. This is just getting worse. And again, the new generation, this is how they think. This is how they operate. So for them, this is normal. They don't have a problem with this. They're okay with this. But anyways, let this continue. And then I'll address all the comments and all of that.
Committed to what does that mean? How is somebody committed to misunderstanding when you don't even know the definition of a woman? You won't even define what a woman is because you're afraid of the mob, right? So again, I'm trying to figure out, where's the misunderstanding? Is it from the biological men who keep telling us that they're women when they're actually not? Or is it from people that are trying to, like, legitimately engage in a conversation that's grounded in facts and reality? Again, this is about, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, so we're going to not tell the truth, right? We're not going to rely on biological facts because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. Again, I'm still trying to figure out, how in the world do women internalize misogyny to the point where they're literally standing up for men who want to be women? I don't understand. I don't get it. They're afraid to even speak on it, right? They don't even want to speak on it. That's how much misogyny these women have internalized. It's a shame. It really is.
Well, I am trying to understand. I'm just trying to get people's perspective. So what is a woman?
I'm gonna say what she said. I don't feel comfortable. Like, this is.
I just feel like that's like not. I don't know. I feel like there's a better question that could be asked in this situation. We all respect the trans community enough, and like invalidating that, like telling they believe that they are women or they're a man, transgender, whatever, and invalidating that's not our position. It's not our place to say what they can and can't be.
See, women like this, it makes me not want to stand up for them. It makes me say, you know what, I don't care, right? I'm going to let these men just dominate you, okay? I'm going to let them just, take all your spaces, be in your locker rooms, because you don't want to invalidate them, right? If you don't want to stand up for yourself, then you know what, I'm not standing up for you. I can't stand up for women like this. I'm sorry. Now, I know it's not all women. I hope most women don't agree with this, but if this is how a lot of women are, this is how a majority of women are on this issue, I don't care. I really don't care. I'm just like, all right, well, you don't care, so I don't care, right? I'm just going to let, again, the men win the beauty pageants, dominate you in sports. They can be smarter than you on Jeopardy, right? Eventually they'll get uterus implants and they'll better get pregnant, and you'll just be replaced, right? We just won't need women anymore. And if that's the route they want to go down, then hey, it is what it is. And surgery's getting to the point now where, again, it's almost impossible to tell the difference between some of these, men that have transformed themselves into women and real women. So I'm just saying, this is the path that women want to go down. Hey, be my guest, okay? But don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, if you be like, hey, why you didn't do anything about it? Why you didn't speak out about it? You roll this type of clip right here. You roll this because they don't care. They're too concerned about not hurting people's feelings than to simply just answer a basic question about what is a woman. You're women, right? Clearly, you know what a woman is. Come on.
Allie, what is a woman?
Well, a woman is an adult human female. It's the same thing like a man is an adult human male. XX chromosomes, that means you're a woman. There are people that are born intersex. You're an incredible minority. And, men are humans who have XY chromosomes.
Look at all your faces, bro. Look at all your faces, bro. They can't stand it, bro. They can't stand her. Apparently, that's hate speech. Right? That's hate speech towards trans folks. Incredible, man. Again, we're living in the most effed up society. This timeline is insane. I don't even know what to say anymore. I really don't. Oh, man. Again, if this is how most women would think, which I hope they don't, right? If this is what it is, if you're afraid to answer simple questions because you don't want backlash from the mob, hey, I can't keep defending you. Right? I can't defend you anymore. You know, I'm just saying. That's how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
All right, so back to this. I'm going to catch up on the comments. So, did you guys hear that? I don't know if you guys were able to hear the video or not. Wait, let me stop the inception real quick. Give me a second. Because if I don't, it's going to keep doing that. And then I'll put the chat back on. But did you guys hear that? You guys heard the whole video? Because on my side, it's not showing whether you guys were able to hear it or not. Let me know before I continue. But notice towards the end, if you guys heard it, this dude or these females, they got upset with the one female. They were like making all these faces like, oh, how could she say that? How could she say that? Like they were all upset because she was speaking the truth and saying what a woman is and what a man is. That's it. So again, I'm going to say this one more time. If you can't define what a man and a woman is, how can you have transsexual men or transsexual women? You can't. It doesn't exist because you don't know what it is. So how can you identify someone as something that you don't even believe exists? So none of this shit makes sense. So again, I see this shit happening all the time, and all the good people are like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm going to say this again. I feel like I'm the only person that is openly against this shit. I am against it. Period. I'm not with it. Whatever happens, happens. But I'm just telling you guys the truth. And again, I know how YouTube is about that community. But I'm just telling you guys how I feel, and I'm not going to hold my tongue. It is what it is. But everyone else, it seems like, oh, it's okay. They can do whatever they want. Okay. And more people are becoming this way, and they're going to take over society. And then when you are the straight, normal person, and you're the minority, guess what? They're going to treat you like a fucking criminal. Because these people are evil. They don't have the same mindset that you have. They're not accepting and tolerant. They want you to accept them and tolerate them, but they're not the same way. And I'm not saying everybody's the same, right? But for the most part, I'd say a lot of them are that way. And the ones that are being pushed on society are definitely that way. So I can only speak by what I see. And what I'm seeing is there's a community that's festering and growing, that's full of people that shouldn't be that way, but they're being promoted and pushed on everybody else. And if you don't accept that and you don't become like them, or you're not part of that community, you're a bigot and something is wrong with you. So normal people are the problem now. And you guys can sit here and just let it, just accept it, be okay with it, whatever. And they're going to keep growing in numbers, and they're going to eventually take over society. Because everybody that was supposed to stop it didn't do anything about it. That's all I'm trying to say. So I'm going to show more videos, but I want to read these comments first. Where said mind control, stupidity, evil. Highlander said, I just felt myself. I'm pretty sure I'm a woman, 100%. That's good. Highlander said, oh my God, I'm a woman and I identify as a woman, even though some men have called me a cougar. Okay. Where said, I am a woman. Okay. Highlander said, all 6 of my kids all identify as their biological gender. I raised them correctly. Good job. Where said, wow, 6. Trace said, same here with me, Highlander. All 4 of my kids were raised right too. But I just want to say, before too many high fives go around, I just want to, and I'm not telling you guys what to do with your kids, even though I kind of am, but you do whatever you want to do. All I'm saying is, it's not just about teaching them how they should be. It's also, do they accept this shit? Because like I just showed you, there are a lot of people. Those women may not necessarily be part of that community. They're not transsexuals. They're not LGBTQ. But they tolerate and accept it, and they allow it, and they're good with it, they're fine with it. That's the real issue that I'm discussing. It's not really about raising them to just be a man and a woman. It's also, are they accepting and tolerating the shit that shouldn't be tolerated? That's the real problem. I hope you guys understand that. It's not just one thing. But anyways, Trey says, okay, I read that. Where said only one boy. Highlander said, I had 5 natural births, adopted my granddaughter legally. My child now, she's 12. Have been noticing some of her acquaintances wanted to be called a different gender. I set her straight. What's up? Okay. Highlander said, I have 1 son also, my oldest. Where said, I have 2 bro and 2 sis. It was really great. Highlander said, by the way, my name is Linda. Highlander comes over on voice text, so I keep it as a nickname on YouTube. Where said, Marie, I speak French better than English. Highlander said, let's just say nanoparticles entered their blood-brain barrier. That's what I would tell them. They wouldn't know how to respond. Where brother said, adult female human. Trey said, yes, we heard it all. And a thumbs up. Highlander said, oh no, think those people are idiots. Yeah. And I'm gonna say something else too. I heard this, but I don't remember who said it. I think it was Tim Pool, but apparently plastics and other types of things get inside of food and this, that, and the other, and it alters the child's brain in the womb, and they become something that they're not. So they become feminine. If they're masculine, they become masculine if they're feminine, or some shit. Some weird phenomenon like that is happening, and apparently scientists have been doing research on it. But this isn't just so you know how some people say, oh, I was born this way. They literally were, because they were being poisoned in the womb. So their brain was altered to think that they're something that they're not. So basically, it's like Down syndrome or something else, right? It's a disease. It's a malformity. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's something that shouldn't be, right? It's a mistake of nature. But if it's being done with plastics or other things, then maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe it's being done on purpose by, I don't know, the FDA and the government. So what I'm trying to say is that this shit is not natural and it's not normal, but it's being accepted and tolerated as if it is. And that's where the real problem is. Instead of getting these people help and telling them that they're wrong and something is wrong with them and they need to be fixed, they're being promoted and put on pedestals. That's the fucking problem. That's the problem. And I'm going to say this again. There are a lot of straight people and normal people that support this shit. So it's not just about, oh, I'm straight, so I'm good. It's, are you supporting this shit? That's where the problem is. I can't say that enough. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys another video that pissed me the fuck off. And this one's going to be hard not to talk through, to be honest. I don't know how many times I'm going to pause this. But again, this is the future, so this lady, she does a lot of good work. She's a real rebel, I would say, but she's going to do some views on certain people, and she's going to ask them if they know what a woman is and all this other shit. So without further ado, I'll let them talk and I'll give my thoughts.
All right, y'all, it is International Women's Day 2023, so we are here at UT Austin to ask the ladies what it means to be a woman in the modern day, and also if they would feel comfortable sharing their spaces with trans women. Let's go find out. What is it like being a woman in modern day America for you?
There definitely is some like setbacks and challenges, especially like I'm queer, and so I have some like just problems with that, like in like a religious standpoint.
There's still a lot of struggles that women have to like go through just for the, I guess, the way that they were born, I guess, especially if you take into account like trans femme people and like stuff like that. So
I'm actually just working on a project right now. I'm an RTF major, and we actually just made a short film about women's experiences, like just existing in the world. It's called You Should Smile More, and we actually did a whole bit about like how it is to just like exist around like kind of just the kind of entitlement of men and how they make people feel uncomfortable and just like in everyday situations and how that affects women in like their day-to-day lives.
What are some of those things that men do that make women feel uncomfortable?
Well, for example, in the film, like the title of the film is You Should Smile More. Just these like kind of offhanded sort of like backhanded compliments almost, where it's like it's inherently threatening and telling them like, you know, like you're only valuable because you're pretty, and like they kind of the tone that they use in certain situations.
I actually identify as.
Okay, so this female that was just on screen, she has a problem with men telling women they should smile more. But she's okay with trans men and them taking over female spaces and doing other stuff. And you'll see what she says later on. But it's bad for a man, a straight man, to tell a woman she should smile more. That's some kind of crime against fucking humanity. But a man cutting his junk off and pretending to be a woman is normal. It's acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that. Mind you, they're both men, right? So the normal man, bad. Transsexual man, good. That's the mindset of these fucking dumb bitches. But let them keep talking before I lose it.
Is non-binary, but I have still identify as a mostly feminine person.
You're gender fluid. Talk to us about, I guess, the modern day version of what being a woman is.
I don't know. I mean, I'm only realized some more gender stuff about myself recently, like in the past few months or so, because before then I identified as a man most of my life, so I'm still trying to figure things out.
So what are your pronouns? Talk to us a little bit about your gender identity.
Pronouns, I guess right now I'm kind of vague about, because I'm not out to literally everyone in existence, just kind of certain social spheres. But I guess any at this point.
Any gender? So
Yeah.
they, them, she, her,
Yeah,
it, he,
whatever.
him.
Yeah.
Go with anything?
Yeah, go with anything.
So gender and sexuality is something that has been brought to the forefront a lot for Women's History Month, International Women's Day. Some women saying that trans women shouldn't be platformed because they're really biological men, especially for Women's History Month. What is your viewpoint on that in the modern day?
I think trans women are women because biological gender is different, biological sex is different from gender. So however you choose to present yourself, you are a woman. If you don't even have to have any sort of gender affirmation surgery.
I think if anyone wants to be a woman.
So, she's basically saying if you have dick and balls, and you just say that you're a woman, you're a woman. That's what these dumb bitches are saying. Keep that in mind. That's all it takes to be a woman. Just have a dick and balls, doesn't matter. You're a woman if you say so.
And they can. I think just because a trans woman is a woman, and I do think we should platform that. They are women.
It's interesting with biological men going into becoming a biological woman, and people have an issue with that because at the end of the day they're a woman. You've become a woman, so now you are in that camp. So I could see why someone might have issues oh, that's not a real woman, but I think that's kind of them not being able to accept the fact that that person has made that choice to become a woman.
Do you guys view trans women?
So keep this in mind if you're a lady in chat. It's a choice for you to be a woman. You weren't born a woman. All your struggles of being a woman don't mean shit. You decided to be a woman. And at any point you could decide to be a man. And that's how easy it is. Who raised these dumbass fucking kids? Who's this kid's parent? And this other one too. They're young, so they're no older than 20, I would assume. But who raised these fucking kids? Seriously. This is the new generation. These are the motherfuckers that are going to be in charge of your world while you're on your dying bed. These are the people that are going to be running the world. And they're just growing in numbers. And there are the weirdos and then the people like this who accept them. And say, oh, it's okay, you can just be however you want to be. And the people that don't understand or aren't accepting, something is wrong with them. So like I said earlier, we're the bad guys. Well, me, because I don't know who else agrees with me. I feel like I'm the only fucking person in the universe that doesn't agree with this shit. But someone like me would be the bad guy. And they would look at me like I'm some kind of criminal or whatever. Because I see the truth for what it is. And I know what a man and a woman is. And I'm not accepting of this weird shit. And that's this kid's mindset. But anyways, let them keep talking.
And biological women the same.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Yeah,
yes, it's like a yes and no.
That's a trick question, but
Yeah.
it's a great question for conversation.
Well, I think the fact that it's not just it's trans women and biological women kind of already inherently is saying they're different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if it's like do you view all women as the same? Even if that question, the answer would be no, because all women are different. Like Rihanna and Beyonce different. Same way like Caitlyn Jenner and like
Do you think Beyonce and Caitlyn Jenner are similar? Like,
This dumbass kid. So he says all women are different. Okay, no shit, Sherlock. Glad you figured that one out, sport. What a fucking genius we have here. This guy's gonna build the next rocket to the moon, right? And then he says, just like me and Caitlyn Jenner are different. So he catches himself. He's like, wait, Caitlyn Jenner is a man that became a woman, and I just compared myself to. Oh my god, we're fucked. This world is fucking doomed. And I'm going to tell you guys something else. I don't care who says what, including Kim Goguen. If this is the future, we're all fucked. Alright? You can tell Kim Goguen I said that. Now let them keep talking.
would you put them on? Yeah,
they're both women.
In the place of the arts, it's like there's really no room for judgment, because like we do like animal work, like we'll crawl on the ground like dogs or like squirrels, and then that being a squirrel, you can like transition to like being like this like sort of crackhead where you have like this like tick, and it's like I know I'm getting there, but it's like you're laughing at that, but it's like we have no room to judge, because then like some of the best actors out there doing like Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire.
So would you say that a man transitioning to being a woman is the same as an actor pretending to be a squirrel?
See, that's just a crazy ass question.
You said you were getting there.
What I'm getting at is like not the embarrassment, the judgment on other people of like, this is just, that's what I do. Now, you might not necessarily do squirrel work, but I'll do it because that furthers like my life and my career and everything. And if, transitioning furthers somebody else's life in the way that they want to, then like, that's just what they got to do,
Do you view biological women and trans women the same way?
Oh, no. Yes and no. I think they should be labeled the same, but I think people should acknowledge that trans women and cis women have different experiences.
I think if that's what they identify as, then today is a day for them.
Do you think that we should be focused in more on transgender women's voices now in the modern day society and, trying to uplift them more than, let's say, other groups of women in the space? What are your thoughts?
Yes, in a way, because they do go through more.
It's nice to get validated in your identity and stuff.
Trans women are, oppressed and stuff. I think they deserve, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
They deserve a voice. They deserve to have the right to identify the way that they see themselves as.
I think trans women of color should be uplifted the most, just because they.
Who raised these dumbass kids? Who? Why? Who? Why? What is this shit? This is the future. Oh my god.
They have the most oppression facing them.
And talk to me too a little bit about that. What are some of those oppressive things that they're facing?
It could just be like small, everyday microaggressions, or even as far as someone going and assaulting them on the street.
And it's all intersectionality, so they deal with just more than one thing. They're a trans woman, they might be a person of color, they might be part of the LGBTQ plus community. A lot of things overlap, and it's hard to. A lot of things affect them. It's not just one thing.
I guess assigned female at birth person, you just generally have a lot more hardships just from like the way you were born. But I do think like trans femme people, it's kind of dangerous to be a trans femme person. It's always has been. There's a lot of violence that trans femme people, trans women like specifically face.
I hate the way that
women have never had it easier, at least in the Western world. I could definitely say for the United States. So what are these dumb bitches talking about? What are they talking about? What hardships? Women have it better than they've ever had it in the history of mankind, especially in the United States. What are you talking about? And if you go to other countries that aren't tolerant or accepting of this shit, then you will see what real hardship is like. But you're not there. You're here, where you have it good. What the fuck are you complaining about? Let me let them keep going.
The United States and law and policy are so focused on changing or just bothering the trans community, and I feel like that should be, it should obviously be a part of law in terms of giving them the freedom that they want, but other than that, I feel like that should not be a subject to talk about unless you are a part of the community or it has something to do with you, because you
This dumb little bitch is saying so much stupid shit that I can't even let her finish. So the United States is a problem. Even though the United States is pushing this shit on everybody else in the world, and the United States is the most tolerant and least racist country in the world, yet the United States is the problem. So go move somewhere else where you can do your weird shit, or you think you can do your weird shit, and see what happens to your ass. Go move to the Middle East somewhere. Go move to Africa somewhere. Go move somewhere else where you think you have it better because the United States is so bad, and see where you end up. I promise you, you will be begging to come back to the United States woke ass shit. You will want to come back to this shit and be like, well, how could I have been so wrong? You dumb bitch. That's all I'm going to say.
You don't truly know how it feels to be trans. Unless you're supporting, then I feel like it should not be talked about.
So I think one of the reasons why it is because, like, for women's sports, for example, right, we do have some...
And I forgot to mention one thing. She also believes that you shouldn't talk about it if you're not part of that community. Well, I missed the memo. I guess nobody told me that. Is there a law somewhere? Oh, the YouTube law, right? Or there's some woke law that I don't know about that I can't talk about this shit. Well, fuck you, fuck YouTube, and fuck anybody else who says I can't talk about it. Let me just...
People like Leah Thomas, who is a biological male that went and swam with the women, obviously took first place. Leah Thomas, broader shoulders, was just bigger in general. So in terms of women's, sports, or even sometimes women's locker rooms, like young girls are being exposed to trans women who still have male genitalia. So these are kind of little kids that are seeing that. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. When it comes to the locker room, I feel like if these people if the trans community, if they feel like they are the opposite sex, like a female or a male, then they should be able to go into the locker room or whatnot because they truly feel like they are female. So 9 times out of 10, I can't speak for everyone, but they're not trying to mess with the opposite sex if they feel like they are that sex. Like if they're a female going into a female locker room, then they're not going to want to mess with the females because they now are a female. But
even if they still have a penis, though, like, do you think that, again, exposing a child...
You see how stupid these dumb bitches are? And she's gonna show a bunch of little news headlines or something that talk about the different issues that real women are facing when men decide that they want to be women, don't have any type of surgeries or anything else. They just look like a man, but they say, oh, I'm a woman and I want to go into the woman's bathroom. There have been so many cases of this shit happening. And people like this dumb little bitch, it's okay with them doing that. She doesn't understand that most of these men that do this, they're doing it for 2 main reasons. One, because they feel like they can get more rights and privileges as a woman. And 2, because they're devious people that want to do evil shit, like show off their parts in front of women. To little kids and all this other shit. So, she's fine with that. She's okay with that. Because as long as they believe in their little black heart that they're a woman, they're a woman. That's what this dumb bitch believes. But let me let her keep talking.
To male genitalia, just because that person feels female, is a good thing for society?
Well, I feel like you're not going to expose your genitalia in a locker room. I know for me, you just get changed and stuff. So in terms of like exposing yourself in a locker room, I feel like that is not an issue. But if people are afraid that the trans person is going to mess with the female in the locker room, that's why I'm saying I feel like it's not an issue either, because if they identify as female, then they're not going to try to mess with these females.
Really, anyone can be dangerous.
But do you think little kids should be seeing this type of thing?
I mean, well, kids shouldn't be seeing genitalia in general. I mean, if a woman, like, goes into a bathroom and is, like, showing off their, like, genitals or whatever, that's just, like, a sexual predator. Like, they just need to be in jail.
For example, in my gym, women will walk around and they'll get naked changing because, we're all biologically the same there. So that's kind of the situation that some people are in. There are children there. But I guess, like I said, in the instance of it being a trans female, like, what are your thoughts on, I guess, children seeing that?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's... That is an interesting thing to think about. I just think, like... I don't know. It is, like, kind of a weird situation. I do think for the safety of, like, a lot of trans people, there should be a lot more gender, like, neutral spaces.
Right. So more options would probably be the answer.
Yeah, I think so, because it really is, like, especially if you're thinking of, like, a trans woman, if they go into, like, the men's locker room, they're, like, a target for, like, harassment. and violence, but if they go into a women's like locker room, a lot of women are uncomfortable, and that's just like the reality of it.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Trans women are women, just like I'm a woman. I'm a cisgender woman, but just as much as I'm a woman, so are trans women. So they deserve every right that I have.
I don't even care. I don't notice anything. I don't see it as a problem, and I think that if they're comfortable being in the women's bathroom, they go to the women's bathroom.
Because they are women.
Yeah.
What would you say to the parents who think, like, oh, I don't want my daughter around a trans woman in a bathroom? Like, what are your thoughts on that type of mentality in the modern day?
I feel like they're not as educated as well. When parents usually say that, it's really coming from like an ignorant place because they're not understanding that they are women. I know they might have been born a male or whatever, but they are women. If they identify as a woman, they are a woman. And I get like they don't want like something bad to happen in the bathroom because their genitalia might not. Sex and gender are two different things, so their sex and gender might not match. But I think it's just ignorance. Yeah.
I agree with what she's saying.
Yeah, I would absolutely be okay sharing a space with trans women, and the fact that parents think that is kind of awful.
I'm totally for uplifting trans women. I think trans women are women, and I think we have a lot more things to worry about than trans women coming into the bathroom.
I don't see really a problem.
I think honestly men are the problem in that point, because I don't think if there is a large majority of people being predatory in women's restrooms, it is men. It is not people who identify as female with male genitalia.
I definitely think trans women.
So men are the problem, but men aren't the problem. That's the logic that these retards are using. Men are the problem, but not when they're transsexuals. They're not the problem. Only when they're straight and normal, that's when men are a problem. But if they're transsexual, they're okay. You can show off your genitalia all you want. All you have to do is say, I am a fucking woman. Have no type of surgeries, have no alterations to your body, look just like a normal man, and just say, oh, I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. Therefore, I can just come in here and just do whatever. And these fucking dumb bitches are okay with that. And I hate the term cis. I hate that shit. When people say, I'm cis this, I'm cis that, you're a fucking idiot. You're a dumb, retarded bitch. I hate that shit. Who the fuck came up with that shit? That's just another, slanderous term or derogatory term used to put down straight people. That's all it is. So if you're somebody that uses that shit, don't fucking talk to me. Because you're stupid.
Women should be included in women's spaces. I mean, they're women, obviously, so they face a lot of the same issues that cis women do as well in terms of misogyny.
Would you say that you would be equal to me then if you decided to be a woman? Then would we be the same?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean by the same?
Like, if a man decided to identify as a woman, at that point, does he then become a woman? What are your thoughts on how all that works?
I mean, well, it's complicated because this is like a social phenomenon, right? Because there's presenting as a woman.
No, it's not complicated at all. Here's a woman, here's a man. It's very simple. I can just look at them and I can tell. I don't need to do any type of research. I don't need to know biology, anything. I don't need to go to school for this shit. I was born knowing this shit. There's a woman, there's a man. Nobody had to tell me this shit. I just knew. I don't know. It's just, I don't know, some kind of supernatural instinct that I had that just told me the difference between a man and a woman. I don't know how I figured it out, but I did. And those two things will never be the same. Ever. Never will they be the same. Period. No matter what this freak does, he'll never be a woman. Period.
There's people interpreting you as a woman. There's also what you feel like internally, whether you feel like a woman or not. They're all kind of intermingled and different. That's very complex. I think in terms of identity, if they identify as a woman, then yeah, that's it. They're just a woman, right? So in terms of being the same, I mean, while they're still women, they
do you think that trans women face maybe more oppression or issues than regular women?
Yes, absolutely. And I think right now in the current climate, I would say yes, more oppression for sure.
Right. Even though if people don't like something that's unnatural, then of course they're not going to support it. So whatever oppression this freak is talking about, it's just people that see the truth for what it is, and they're not supportive of your mental illness. It's that simple. Why is this the only mental illness that's promoted and celebrated in our society? Other mental illnesses, when people have, I don't know, schizophrenia or anything else, right? They get treatment and help for it. They're not promoted and put on a fucking pedestal. But because this kind of illness, mental, soul, spiritual illness, whatever you want to call it, is the end of humanity, is being promoted and celebrated. And again, the more tolerant you are of this shit, the more you're okay with it, the worse it gets. It is what it is. It's going to keep getting worse. And then I was going to play this video, but I'm not. This is just a woman who is speaking out against a dude who is pretending to be a female, and he's getting little kids to go to his Patreon, and he wants to have secret conversations with them. And this lady was speaking out about it, and now she's getting death threats and being attacked and targeted because she spoke the truth. So then she ended up apologizing for speaking up against something she knows is wrong. Because she was like, why is this man luring little kids into his private Patreon so that he can try to groom them, right? So she was speaking out against it, and she's getting attacked by these weird fucking retarded fucking people. I actually just want to play that part where these people are talking shit about her. Hold on, where is it? I'm trying to find it. Yeah. I'll play this part. I'll play the beginning, but that's all I'm going to play. So I want you to see the kind of people that are attacking this lady and the shit that they're saying.
I want you to give a quick update on what's going on with Jeffrey Marsh. I know I said I'm going to stay out of it.
You really should have stayed out of it, but you didn't. And so here we are. And I want to talk about this. I am not a member of the LGBTQIA plus community. I am barely comfortable referring to myself as an ally of trans people because I have so much learning and unlearning that I have been doing. But I'm going to use my voice here because what I do see, what is very clear to me, is there is a concerted effort and attack against the trans community right now. So much of my FYP is filled with people I follow taking on and confronting problematic, hateful videos like the one I'm stitching with. The fact that you actually went and paid money to become a private member of a private Patreon community and then screenshotted it and then shared it on your platform of 7.1 million followers to attempt to actually say that another human being is a predator is beyond problematic.
So most of you know that there is a problematic creator with 7 million followers being super transphobic right now. This person right here.
I only talked about their behavior. And I became transphobic? What?
You are selectively editing videos of a non-binary person to make it look like they are child predators when they are not. And you don't understand why that is considered transphobic. Well, let me tell you why. We are in the middle of a massive political campaign right now to paint anybody gender non-conforming or LGBTQIA as groomers. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine if right after 9/11, we all stitched your videos to make it look like you were sympathetic to Al-Qaeda. If we did that, you would call us Islamophobic, and you'd be right.
All right, guys. So.
All right. So I'm not gonna play the rest of that, but I think you guys get the point. Let me stop the inception real quick. So I'm gonna read what you guys are saying here, and I'm just gonna say this. That's the world we're headed towards. That's what's being promoted. That's what's being pushed. And it's just a sad reality. So, again, and isn't it funny that today there's not a lot of people watching me? My stream's not getting promoted. It's just funny how this topic is so divisive, and it gets people turned off, and nobody wants to address it or talk about it, and everybody seems to be okay with it. And that's why I'm talking about it, because I feel like I'm the only person that isn't okay with this shit. So, and I'm gonna say this again. Notice how most of the people that are supportive of this shit are cisgender white females, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And Why is that the pattern? Why are all these Karens always in support of this shit? Well, whatever. I'm just gonna address your comments and then I'll get on. So then, let's see. Highlander said, "RT, most of them will be gone before me. They are so confused and brainwashed. They are even confusing their own self. LOL." And where said LOL? And Trans said, "These kids are being totally brainwashed by society and the system. It's not just allowing it, they are encouraging it." That's exactly my point. But I'm going to say this again. The system is made up of people. Because when people say the system, it kind of makes it seem like there's nobody doing it. It's just some imaginary force. But there are people that are in the system that are promoting this shit and encouraging it. And I'm going to say this again. If you are passive, like if you're a pacifist, if you're passive, if you're just like, it's okay to do, like you can do what you want and it's not a big deal, you're also part of the problem. That's the truth. That's why I'm talking about it. Because it's not just the people that are promoting it and encouraging it. It's the people that aren't doing shit about it or speaking out against it. You're also part of the problem. Do you understand? That's why I'm so upset, because I'm like, am I the only person willing to say anything? Like, everybody else seems okay with this shit. Where said, "Kids on farms with animals and nature, garden, rivers, forests, more balance." Trey said, "These young girls will think very differently when they have children of their own." That's if they even have children, or if they even believe that men and women should have children. Maybe they don't even believe in children. Maybe they don't believe in a natural marriage. Like, who knows what these fucking weird people believe in. And those women that were being shown, well, in the first video for sure, they're basically thoughts. They're just women that like to show off their bodies and make money, and they're basically all whores anyway. So they probably don't believe in having a normal relationship with a guy or whatever. And then they're the ones that are supportive of this weird shit, right? Highlander said, "They may use the baby pots instead." That is taking place now. War. And then Highlander said, "BRB, my dogs are barking at something out back." Probably one of these kids showed up to your house. And your dog knows evil when it senses it. But again, this is a real evil that is gripping the world and humanity. And the United States is the biggest propagator of it. And they're spreading this shit to everyone else in the world. And, you know, I've had conversations with people from other countries, and they're like, "Well, I believe this is the way things are supposed to be." And I'm like, you know, that idea came from the United States, right? That's not an idea that came from your country. And they don't even know where the stuff is coming from. They're just being brainwashed by things that are not even part of their country. So I'm like, so this is just a worldwide thing that's happening, and people don't see that it's bad. They don't think it's bad. They think it's okay. There are obviously people that do see it, but for the most part, people are either tolerant or encouraging it. And that's the real issue. So again, it's a big problem for me. It's something that I'm going to keep talking about. So I don't know how do I say this? I don't know how much I can say on this platform before YouTube gets tired of me talking about it. But I know that it's something that they don't want people talking about. And I'm going to tell you something else. Every single video that I've ever gotten a strike on YouTube, I mentioned that community in one way or another. Even if my video wasn't fully about that community, I mentioned them in the video and I got a strike. So just even talking about them, it's like a red flag for YouTube. Like, oh, how dare you talk about our prized children of the fucking devil. But I don't know. It's just something that, again, I'm not tolerant. I don't care what anybody says to me or what anybody calls me. And I don't even give a fuck if YouTube takes me down because I said what I said. I don't care. I'm going to speak the goddamn truth. And people need to see it and do something about it. Because again, like I told you guys before, you don't have to wait for Kim to save the world for things to change. Like, you can start doing things yourself and change the world. And one of the things that will definitely make a difference is not accepting this kind of garbage. Because this is a big, big thing that people are just okay with. I'm obviously not. That's why I'm talking about it. But, yeah. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back. So if you guys want to say anything or ask any questions or whatever, feel free. Hey, what's up, Divine? You basically just missed me ranting for like, what, an hour and something minutes? But yeah, again, and I'm sure after you guys saw, those of you that were here for the whole time, when you saw me say all the stuff, why I say, I don't know how long I'm going to last on this platform, because that's how I really feel about shit. And honestly, I was considering doing this stream on Rumble today because I wanted to say more, but I was like, nah, I already said I was going to do YouTube, so whatever happens, happens. That's the way I feel about it. But the truth has to be spoken. If I'm the only person that's going to speak it, then so be it. I'll be the only person. Right? Screw it. I have to close these things out real quick. Yeah, I was on fire. I'm calmed down now. But like I said, I'm the only one that's going to say the shit that I just said. I challenge any of you to find somebody else in this entire world, including Kim Goguen, that will say what I just said. Find somebody else, one person besides me, that will say what I just said. I challenge you. I guarantee you, you will not find anyone. Because everyone else is so scared of being canceled and being labeled this, that, and the other, or what are people going to say about me, yada, yada, yada. I don't give a fuck. That's how I am. I don't care. And whatever happens, happens. I'll deal with the consequences. But I'm not going to, stop being me because everyone else is fucked. No, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be the truth, whatever. But, yeah, and so we can talk about Kim now if you guys want to talk about Kim. I do have to make another video on her soon. I should have made it this weekend, but I was busy trying to figure things out with the channel. and other personal things, but I will work on that. So I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 videos this week so I can try to catch up to current time where Kim is at. But I do feel it's important to discuss all the things that she talks about. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to, skip certain videos and then she says something important and I didn't hear it. So that's why it's taken a while. And like I said, the Kim videos take time. So it's not something I can do quickly. Like most of my other videos, I can probably do faster because it's just me talking. But when I'm doing Kim videos, I really have to take time to do that. And like I said, on Patreon, I want to just show Kim talking. So you guys can hear what she says and hear what I say. And then you guys can say what you want to say. And we can all just have a conversation about it. And I haven't done this yet, but I believe that Patreon can do live streams. So I should be able to like when I catch up to her current time and she puts out a report, we can go to Patreon and just talk about it there. Or I can play the whole thing and then we'll just have a conversation about it, right? I'm still trying to figure that out because I do want to do exclusive things there, but the issue I'm having is what exactly do you guys want me to put up? Because Patreon is for you guys. So YouTube, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But Patreon, that's where you guys can give me ideas, suggestions, things you want to see, things you want to discuss. You get what I'm saying? So I am taking suggestions. I'm not saying I'm going to do everything everybody says, but I'm going to try to accommodate as much as I can. And I have my own ideas about what I want to do, but yeah, like I'm considering doing the history that I talked about exclusively on Patreon. So I can just go through that there. Trace said she spoke today in her update on what's happening with the banking system. Many people are very scared they will lose their money. Yeah, the whole system is fucked. Trace said she also implied that General Milley was returned to source over the weekend. Yeah, but I'm going to say this again. It's cool if those people are supposedly being disposed of. However, the issue is that their clones or whatever you want to call it are still there, still doing the same shit that the people that they supposedly replaced were doing. That's the issue that I have. So there's really no change in terms of the impact that these people have. Do you understand? Like they're still like Trump, right? I keep hearing that Trump is dead, Trump is dead, Trump is dead, but there's still this other fake Trump running around doing the same exact shit, if not worse, than the old Trump. Biden's dead, Biden's dead. It's still the same fucking Biden, still the president, still doing fucked up shit. If not, he's worse than the old fucking Biden. As a matter of fact, I know he's worse than the old Biden because I made a video talking about it. So this is the issue that I have. There has to be huge change in front of in the front, in this, like where everybody can see it, not just behind the scenes, but like in public where everybody's like, okay, this person is no longer here. And I hear this excuse of, well, people are going to be shocked if this happens. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I'm tired of these excuses of letting these people run around and do what they want to do, hurting and killing people and doing all this evil behind the scenes because we're worried about hurting somebody's feelings, or somebody might be shocked if somebody dies. If this person's not here anymore, the world is going to be shocked. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't want to hear this shit anymore about people being shocked. I want something to happen where everybody can see it. Do you understand? Like, that's where I'm at. That's how I feel about it. So, I don't know what else I could say about it. But until I see that happen, I'm going to keep saying the things I'm saying, and I'm going to keep doing, because again, the way you will know the world is actually changing for the better and things are improving is when I stop making videos. So when you see my channel completely disappear and I'm gone and there's no more real truth, that means the world is changing for the better. That's how you will know. Because the reason why I'm talking about these things and doing what I'm doing is because things are still fucked up. And I haven't seen any indication of anything changing. So I'm going to keep saying what I'm going to keep saying, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to keep doing. You guys can support me or not, that's up to you. But I'm not going to stop. They're going to have to stop me. That's the way I feel about it. Trey said, I meant there must be panic happening behind the scenes. Well, I understand what you're saying. Like I said, for me, it's I just don't want to hear any more excuses from anybody. Like me, if people actually listened to me and did what I recommend, and nobody has to do what I say. People can do whatever the fuck they want to do. But if people actually listened to me and thought like how I think, things would change very quickly. This world would change quickly. But that's the issue. Not only do people not want to think like me or do what I say, they want to live in this fantasy world. They want to ignore everything. They want to pretend that things are good when they're not. And they're okay with that. They're okay with things being fucked up if they think they can ignore it and get away from it, right? And like I said before, you can only put your head in the sand so long before somebody shoves a stick up your ass. And that's what's going to end up happening. People keep ignoring stuff. People saying it's okay, do whatever you want. I'm not concerned. It's not a big deal. And then someone's going to come to your door demanding that you do something that you don't want to do because you sat there and you didn't speak up when you had the chance. And now you're going to get fucked. And it's going to be too late because no one's going to be there to help you. And I believe David Icke always says this. It's like they came for this person and nobody spoke up. They came for that person. Nobody spoke up. Then they came for me and there was nobody left to speak up for me. That's what's going to happen. People keep just standing by watching. Oh, it's okay. Somebody else will do it for me. Somebody will take care of it for me. I don't have to do anything. As long as I listen to this person, it's going to get done. That's not going to do shit. So, I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's very difficult when what I'm seeing isn't matching out with what people are saying. It's very difficult to be optimistic. Trey said that will have to start to bring the truth to the surface. And like I said again, there are many things that can be done just by the average citizen. Like you don't need a spaceship or superpowers to change the world. The things that need to be changed really just start with the mind and in your thought process. Seeing what's wrong and not accepting it. That is the main thing that people need to get into their heads. If you see something that's wrong, don't be okay with it. Don't accept it. And that's why I tell people are like, well, like I had somebody say to me, we got to ignore all the people that are spreading negativity, yada, 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 right? And what I said to this person is, well, when you see something that is wrong and you react negatively to it, or you get upset or frustrated or angry, that's a natural human reaction that you were given so that you know when something is wrong. If you sit there and smile and you're happy all the time when things are fucked up, how are you doing anything good there? How are you helping anyone or anything? You can't always be positive and smiling and joking and everything's fine when you see the world burning around you and you're like, oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's like that meme, right? Where the dog is sitting on the fucking at the table and the room is burning around him. And he's like, oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. No, it's not fine. Things are fucked up. People need to do shit. People need to think different. People need to react different. That's the only way things will change. But as long as people think they can't do anything and everything's fine the way it is, things will just continue to get worse. Where said cleaning up the hospitals would be nice too. This whole world needs a fucking cleansing, if I had to be honest with you. But it's not up to me who lives and who dies. Apparently, Kim is in charge of that. So it is what it is. But if it was up to me, I would snap half of the fucking population. And it would be the people that need to go. And I would leave the people that need to stay. That's how quickly I would do it. I wouldn't be doing the second, people get second chances and let's see what they do next week and all this other shit. It would be like, oh, you're fucked up, you're gone. You're a fucked up person, you're gone. You've done all these things, we identified you as unrepairable, you're gone. That's how it would be with me. That's how I would do it. But apparently there are limits to what Kim can do, source, this, that, and the other. It is what it is. I'm not in her position, so I don't know what she can or can't do. But that's why I said if it was up to me, meaning up to me completely, like if I had the complete power to do what I want, I would just get rid of the people that need to be gone. That's it. No second chances. No waiting. Or let's see what this clone does. Let's see what this person does. It would be a done deal. But whatever. So yeah, I'm probably gonna cut it. I really enjoyed you guys showing up in this little conversation. Probably should have done it on Rumble, but whatever. So if you don't know, I have my Patreon. It's in the link in the description. I will be doing exclusive content on there. So if you click this in the description, it will take you to the Patreon. The first month you can pledge whatever you want, up to you can do as low as $1, whatever you feel like you can pledge, and then if you decide to stay subbed, it'll be $6 after that. That's up to you guys what you want to do. If you want to support me there are a couple of videos there. I'm going to make more content just for that platform, and that's all I have to say for now. I appreciate you all showing up. Hit the like button before you leave, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Oh, last thing. The next stream will be on Rumble on Thursday. But other than that, take care.